Zane Jones was born and raised in Columbia, South Carolina, where he developed his passion for storytelling. He completed high school in Jacksonville, Florida, and soon after joined the Marine Corps. In 2017, he moved to LA to begin his career in entertainment and graduated from NYFA in 2019 with his AFA in acting. This summer, Zane won a Daytime Emmy for executive producing The Girl in Apartment 15. Today, Zane Jones is here with us to share more about his recent success.
Hi, Zane.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about your childhood. Do you remember what you wanted to be when you were a kid?
Yeah, I wanted to be an architect.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
So my mom used to watch HGTV all the time.
Uh-huh.
So I was right there with her watching HGTV, and I used to just draw floor plans all the time. And then I had the game The Sims, the PC game.
Yeah.
And I used to draw floor plans and then get on the computer and try to recreate my floor plans in this game. So I really wanted to be an architect when I was young.
That's interesting. So what happened and when that you changed your mind?
Well, it's just I've always been an artist, so I was always drawing, and I used to draw like comics and let people in class read, so it's like I'm a storyteller as well. So I think it changed. Well, I know it changed when I was in the Marines. So in the Marines, I just realized how much I like making people laugh. So that's when I decided that I can be an entertainer and I can make people laugh for a living. And that's when I started looking up NYFA and what schools can I go to in LA and things of that nature. And I started off doing comedy when I came out here.
Did you do stand-up comedy as well?
Yeah, I did. So when I first came out here, all I did was stand up. Like the first year and a half was just straight stand up. And then I realized how hard that was. So I was like, okay, I need to make a transition into doing something that I feel like the grind isn't as hard. So therefore it was like, okay, I'm gonna switch to like doing things on social media and try to get myself out that way because it's just less planning, less time consuming and things like that.
So how did you end up at NYFA? You graduated a few years ago. You got your affiliate degree in acting, correct?
Yes.
So why acting and why NYFA?
Well, I want to be an actor comedian. So when I was looking online at all the different schools in LA, I felt like this was the best school that matched, I guess, my personality. Like just from the way the site is, you know, the aesthetic of the site, essentially, I feel like it matches what I put out into the world, you know what I'm saying, my energy. So I was just thinking that, okay, this seems like the right school for me. Because I looked at a lot of other schools as well, and just because of the site, looking through the curriculum, I felt like this isn't what I want to learn, or I don't want anything that's that intensive, you know what I'm saying? So NYFA was just a perfect fit for me.
What was your favorite subject during your years at NYFA?
I like the sitcom class.
Comedy.
Yeah, with Isabella Hoffman. I would say that was my favorite class. It was just fun. We recreated a scene from, or an episode from Friends. We recreated that, and that was really fun. And I just like her, so I would say she's probably my favorite teacher too. I like her energy. She's just very bubbly and happy and energetic and positive. And she's also funny, so I would say that was my favorite class.
Your story is very inspirational. In Marines, you used to be a helicopter technician.
Yes, I was an avionics technician.
It's amazing. So would you please tell us a little bit about what was your day like?
You know, I felt very isolated in the sense that I'm an artist at heart. That's who I've always been. So when I'm in an environment where you have to conform, essentially, I feel like I'm in bondage. So for me, I felt trapped being in the Marines. But as far as the job itself, it's fun. You know, the day-to-day is just dealing with Marines, fixing planes in the rain, the cold, because I was like stationed in North Carolina, so it gets really cold. You know, it's freezing outside, you have to fix a plane. But the light in all of that is you build bonds with people that you don't build in like regular civilian life where everything is good, we're coasting, you know what I'm saying? Like having these muddy, bottom of the barrel experiences with other people really brings you close together and just helps you see that everything is not always so bad. And that's what I feel like led me to this point, because in the Marines I've just always had that energy of like, this is a bad moment, but I personally don't feel like I'm in a bad situation, you know? It's like I was always just happy as I could be.
It's a perception.
Yeah, it's a perception thing. So.
Yeah. I think it might be helpful in your acting as well, yeah? Because you have this unique life experience not so many people have.
Right. I feel like I just need to learn to tap into that. Like when I think about joining the Marines, going to boot camp, and dealing with what I was dealing with, it feels like it was a dream to where I'm actually disconnected from those memories. It's like I have a psychological block where I'm disconnected and I can't even draw or pull or remember.
From there.
Yeah. So until I guess, stop running from those memories and like learn to embrace whatever it was that I went through or that I didn't like and embrace it, then I'll be able to harness that into my characters and everything that I do. But right now, they're like locked in the box and thrown away.
Do you have your favorite movie?
My favorite movie recently, I would say, is Joker from 2019. But from my childhood, I would say Bruce Almighty, Matrix, Underworld, Don't Be a Menace, Twilight. I have all these movies on my wall in my living room. So,
You do?
yeah. I do.
Who are the people who inspire you the most?
I don't think I'm inspired by no one. Like I never looked to people when I was a kid like, I want to be like this stand-up comedian or I want to be like this actor. What made me feel like I was going to be great and what gave me purpose was just my name. So I never met nobody with my name when I was growing up. So every time I'm watching TV, that's the only time I would see somebody named Zane, whether it was their last name or first name. And I always told myself as a kid, like, that must mean I'm going to be famous. That must mean I'm going to be great. So really it's just me living up to my name and not looking to a specific person, but just trying to live in the light that I see my name as. So.
Let's talk a little bit about the movie. I watched the movie last night,
Okay.
The Girl in Apartment 15. It's a sad movie. I should have watched it in the morning. I got really sad at night. It's a beautiful film and it has a very, very important message.
Yes.
Would you please tell us a little bit, how did you come up with the idea for this movie?
Well, I didn't come up with the idea. So I was brought on board later to produce. So the writer is this guy named Marquez Williams. So he wrote the movie and he went to this other producer named Dr. Lewis Jones. He's like the guy who spearheads all the projects. So he went with Dr. Lewis Jones and they started making the film together and they brought me in later to like continue to help produce. So that's how it came about.
Do you feel you knew ahead of time the film will be such a success, or it was a surprise for all of you?
It was a surprise for all of us because only Dr. Lewis Jones, he's the only one that knew like this movie is Emmy worthy. So he's the one who did all the submission processes and everything. So, you know, we shot the movie and we're just continuing with other projects and doing what we're doing. And he's the one that's like leading the charge, like this is a great movie, we can really win an Emmy. And nobody really thought anything of it. So when we won, it was just a big shock to everybody.
Do you feel like this award changed your career or changed your life a little bit?
No, until I learned how to leverage it. So like I'm still so new to the industry that technically I don't even have professional experience because I just have production experience. I've been on sets and I've done things and I've won this, but I've never worked for a studio. I've never worked for any company. So when I don't have professional experience, it's actually still hard, I think, for people to even want me to produce because I'm still an amateur in their eyes, I would say.
What else are you working on right now?
I have a music video I'm directing Friday by this artist named Nakia Ade. She's amazing. She's an R&B singer. So I'm directing her music video for this song titled Toxic. So I'm working on that. I'm working on getting my season 3 show produced by like a big producer like Complex or something like that.
Wow.
And it's my late night talk show called Zane at Dusk on YouTube. So
What is the show about?
it's a talk show, so it's not about anything. I'm not like targeting a certain demographic. I just bring guests on from all walks of life, all backgrounds, and we play a game and we just talk. So we just talk and it's meant to be organic where we just get people to have fun and show who they are as a person. So I don't ask them like deep questions to put them on the spot. I don't want them to have to like be on guard and be reserved to have to articulate everything I ask them. You know, I just want them to be comfortable and show people who they are. So that's really what the show is about. You know, everything else is kind of foreseeable in terms of, you know, you plan, right? And you have like risk management, right? You do so much pre-production that of course things go wrong, but you can cope with these things because you're malleable because you plan so much. But winning an award like of this magnitude is like, it's unforeseeable. So I would say just knowing the impact that your story reaches is one of the most unexpected things, is just knowing how your stories affect people. My favorite project working on is my show.
Your show?
Yeah, my late night talk show. It's fun. I just show up to the studio, just get everything ready, and it's just fun interacting with people and just being able to be myself and having people express themselves. So I would say working on my talk show has been the best thing I've worked on.
It's a fun show, right?
Yes.
It's like a comedy.
It is.
Yeah. How do you meet people you invite as guests?
Uh, Usually it's people who I've met at like networking events, people who I've met from other sets. So like people who I met from this movie, I invited them onto the show. And every other movie or music video or anything that I do, or even just in life, if I meet somebody with like a cute, cool occupation, and I'll have them come on the show. So yeah, just everyday people who I meet in the industry, I have them come on the show.
How do you get chosen as a producer?
You get chosen by knowing the right people and having the connections. No matter what field you're in life, and definitely entertainment, most jobs come through a referral, you know? So I was just happy. I just got lucky to be able to meet Lewis because I acted in one of his films. So that's how I met him. So I met him, he had this movie called The Good Teacher. So he cast me in that movie. And then from there, he brought me on to produce because he knew that I had school experience and I had my own talk show that, you know, I do the production on. So he was like, I want to bring you on board with this movie once they had everything going. So he brought me on board for this. So it's really just meeting people and being organic and being authentic, just being honest.
Do you feel you'll work again with the same team again?
Yeah, we're already a team now. So we just finished another movie called Intended Parents, and we've had a premiere in 5 different states.
Wow.
There's a lot of news about it and everything. So yeah, we just finished another project. So we're hoping to win another Emmy with that one as well.
As a producer, do you participate in promoting the movies you make or no?
Yeah, we do. We promote. We start GoFundMes. We raise money. You know, we started Indiegogo, raise money, and then we have these premieres, so we get distribution. And then, of course, we post on social media and things like that.
Do you have any advice for our current students on how to become successful in Hollywood?
Do it for the passion. Like, do things you're passionate about. Don't work just to work. You know, like, if you don't have interest in the project, you essentially aren't going to bring to the table, you know what I'm saying, what's needed of you, you know? So, like, if you feel like you can't do your best or you don't have anything to offer, then don't take up the project. Not saying don't do it, do what you want to do. But I like to move in things that make me feel proud to be here, you know? So always, when I'm on set, I could be on set for 17 hours and I don't even get tired because I want to be there. So just living in that energy of, I want to be on set right now. I want to create with these people. That helps me, like, not get tired. It helps me stay creative. And also, don't look forward to money. Like, don't put money as, like, the epitome of I'm doing great or not. You know what I'm saying? Because you can make a great project like this. And if you go into that wanting money or you doing it for the money, then it's just going to throw off everything. So, yeah, I would say just be authentic. Do things you're passionate about. Be honest. Make great connections. And focus on the art.
What was the budget of your movie?
$20,000.
It's a very low budget movie for Hollywood.
Yes.
And you won an Emmy.
Right.
So would you say everything is possible?
I would say anything's possible because it's not Hollywood, you know? Like, this is just privately funded movie. You know, we have investors and they put the money up for the movie. So yeah, it's not even Hollywood at all. They're not even involved.
You're a trained actor and also now you're a producer. What do you prefer the most?
Acting.
Acting.
Yeah, I'm an actor at heart. I'm a comedian at heart. So like, I just love comedy and I love acting because it just, comedy, I'm being myself, but acting, I get to, you know, be somebody else. And that's fun to just explore. And I'm being myself, but parts of me that I have to suppress, you know? So however crazy and neurotic that I actually am in real life, of course you can't present that to the world. So when I act, I'm able to bring that out and it's freeing.
I know lots of young filmmakers, students especially, have lots of self-critique. They don't have enough confidence. So what would you say, your advice for them?
Do it anyways. Because even if you're not confident, it doesn't mean you can't perform. It doesn't mean you don't know the job. So I would just say, even if you're unconfident, still take the job. Because you never know how much you know until you're put in a situation where you have to present that information. So right now, I could feel like I don't know much about producing. I'm not a good actor. But if somebody tells me, hey, I want you to act in this, and I want to do it, I'll find the tools that I know as an actor to be this character. You know, I'll go to my toolbox of producing knowledge or directing knowledge, and I'll be able to do my job efficiently. So I would say, yeah, that's the same thing of like anticipating the future, right? It's kind of like if you're not confident, it's probably because of what you think other people's expectations of you are. So if you don't have expectations of what other people think about you or the quality of work that you might put out that could be perceived as bad, if you just live in a moment of right now, I'm confident, or I know what I can do right now, I feel like you won't have those worries.
Do you remember what you felt in the moment when you found out you won an Emmy?
Yeah, I didn't even feel nothing. I was like, this can't be real. So it's just like, I was just like, okay. You know, like it's like if somebody tells you somebody died, it's like, you don't believe it, right?
It's a
kinda
denial
like, yeah, you're
at
just
first.
in denial. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would say it really took about 2 weeks for me to be like, I got an Emmy. So literally, it was like, I'm just going through my day to day and just still feeling like myself, because I am myself, but it just never even dawned upon me that it's like, I have an Emmy, you know? But when I meet other people, that helps me kind of realize the magnitude of it, because other people see it as like, you have an Emmy, and I
Like,
see
yeah.
it as like, I don't know how to feel
Wow,
about it.
like wow.
Yeah, right. You only make it by being consistent. You know, like one award, it's cool, but can you duplicate? How many times can you do it? How many great movies can you make? You know what I'm saying? So you like, you know, you're only as good as your last film or your last project. So you basically just have to stay consistent and be recognized, because like I said, this is not a Hollywood movie. So to the industry, we're not even known yet, you know what I'm saying? So we still just like small filmmakers, still hoping to get to that level where we are recognized by these big heads in the industry, you know what I'm saying, to see us. So right now, we're still just working and working and working, being consistent and trying to rack up as many Emmys as possible and get as much press as possible, so that one day somebody will see it and be like, these guys are great, I want to work with them. And then they take us to the next level.
The film you just finished, what was it about?
It's about surrogacy. So in the movie, it's a heterosexual male and he's dating a trans woman. So the movie is about the struggle of not really people not accepting her for being a woman, but it's more so just about people who want to have a baby, but they have this biological complication of her being a trans woman. So that's the issue of the movie. And of course, even without it being a direct message, it also wants to normalize seeing trans women as women. So that's why it was like really important for the actor to be a heterosexual male, you know what I'm saying, who is cisgendered, you know?
Yes.
So it was really important for him to be that, to show that, you know, you can date a trans woman because they are women. And that was like another underlying message of the film. But the one that you see is them going through the process of trying to have a baby.
It's again a movie with a message.
Yep.
So we are looking forward to a second
Number 2
Emmy.
is coming in
Yeah.
a couple of months.
You're a producer in this one too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No acting in this one?
No.
No. Why do you choose not to act in movies you produce?
It's not that I don't choose, it's just that I work with a team of producers. And like I said, Dr. Lewis Jones, he is like the head producer.
In charge.
So he already has his vision and his team of like actors that he pulls from. So like throughout all of his films that he's been making, like TV shows on Amazon, all the movies he has on Amazon, he's just consistently working with the same actors. And of course he bringing new people on board, but I guess he just respects me more on the behind the scenes level. So therefore it's like he values me more in that capacity.
But are you open to produce something you'll act in?
Yeah, I want to, but it's just a process of finding the right project, because I do want to write my own movie about the Marines. So I do have a passion project about suicide, and it's about being in the Marines and things like that. So with this movie, I'm gonna write it because nobody else can write it. So I'm gonna write it, and I'm gonna act in it, and I'm gonna direct it. But I just need to find time and the energy to just take on the feature. You know, it's a long process. So I just really need to just dive deep and just stay focused and write this movie.
Zane, thank you so much for coming in today. And we had an amazing time talking to you and getting to know you better. And we wish you a great success.
Yes, thank you. It's been fun, and same wishes to you as well.
Thank you.